The common was grown from forest coral and rose 5 levels above the open sward to the east and to the plaza to the west. Curvilinear by nature, nothing in it was square. Subtle lines of support and tension, foundation into bracing, into wall, into window, into finial, gave the whole building a sense of motion and life, like some climbing and twisting fusion of ivy and bone. The interior had sweeping corridors that channeled the breeze, courtyards that opened to the sky, private rooms that could be adapted for small meetings or living quarters, wide chambers used for presentations or dances or banquets. The air smelled of cedar and aca trees. Harp swallows nested in the highest reaches and chimed their songs at the people below. For most of the year, the Common was a building of all uses for the Irvian Research Medrey, and it served all the branches of scholarship that the citywide institution embodied. Apart from one humiliating failure on an assessment in his first year, David had fond memories of the Common and the times he'd spent there. The end-of-year celebration was different. It was a nested series of lies, a minefield scattered with gold nuggets, opportunity, and disaster inevitably mingled. Hello, Amber here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're exploring Chapter 1 of The Mercy of Gods by James S.A. Corey. The sample chapter is available online, and I'll link that in the description. So let's unpack the details and moments that set the stage for James S.A. Corey's sophomore series after The Expanse. The opening chapter introduces us to Dafyd Alkhor, a young research assistant attending an end-of-the-year celebration at the Scholars' Common. And right from the beginning, we get a look into David's personality as he reflects on how small choices can have significant impacts on life. He thinks about how consequential decisions add up. So David's evening starts with what looks like a mundane conversation with Lauren Morse, a near-field astronomer from Dian Academy. Morse is really enthusiastic about his work, speaking about his studies and future aspirations. What first stands out about this exchange is that we see David's skill in engaging others while keeping his own cards pretty close to his chest. This seems like a natural talent that serves him well in the political environment within academia. He has a knack for saying little while making others feel at ease. But David's true focus and intentions are elsewhere. He is hoping to see Elsa Anneliese Janen, a woman with whom he has an unclear connection and infatuation with. Elsa is part of a celebrated research team led by Toner Friess, a man whose research has recently achieved significant acclaim. We also meet David's aunt, who is a main player in the funding sector, who criticizes him for his self-effacing demeanor. She reflects on raising David after the death of his mother and urges him to be more assertive. We also learn that the celebration at the Scholars' Common is more than just a social gathering. It's a battlefield of academic politics. The attendees range from scholar researchers to high-ranking administrators and military members, as they navigate the unspoken hierarchies that rule their interactions. And the setting is really interesting. It highlights what seem like high stakes and something like a dance of power and influence within their community. As the chapter continues, David warns Elsa of political threats to his research team's future. His conversations with her seem casual, but is full of underlying subtext. And the chapter closes with David feeling a mix of emotions, tiredness from the year's efforts, the weight of his infatuation with Elsa, and maybe a hint of paranoia about the security of his research position. So there's actually quite a lot going on here. We have a lot of crossover between personal and political plot points, and the stage is set in a way that the reader can infer there's going to be a lot of unfolding drama. Chapter 1 of Mercy of the Gods does a great job of setting up the story by introducing characters, while leaving the reader question which of them will be significant. As a big fan of The Expanse, one of the things I'm looking forward to the most with Mercy of Gods is character depth, and James S.A. Corey does really well within diverse personalities. The Expanse has a lot of unique people and perspectives, and readers always find a different character to connect with due to the many archetypes. And David is a much different main character than James Holden. He's guarded, highly intuitive, and politically savvy. Just from reading the first chapter, we can see a lot of ambiguity. Is he a hero, an instigator, or like James Holden, just an ordinary person who gets caught up in something bigger when everything goes pear-shaped? Overall, I think my favorite aspect of the sample chapter is the opening paragraph. Later, at the end of things, David would be amazed at how many of the critical choices in his life seemed small at the time. How many overwhelming problems had, with the distance of time, proved trivial. Even when he sensed the gravity of the situation, he often attributed it to the wrong things. He dreaded going to the end of year celebration at the Scholars' Common that last time, but not, as it turned out, for any of the reasons that actually mattered. So this paragraph points the reader towards some clues. David's choices seem small and insignificant, then immediately cuts to David having thoughts and interactions with multiple different people. Will all of these interactions be significant to this story? The most telling line of dialogue seems to be when Lauren Morris is speaking candidly to David and looks onward to Tonner Fries, who is undeniably the belle of the ball speaking to crowds about his research, and says, "Enjoy it now," then excuses himself from the conversation. It's a great hook, and after reading it, I'm really excited to see what comes next when the book releases this summer. And I think the chapter has a lot of good things going for it. If you enjoyed this short video, let me know by giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. I'll be covering the book in more detail when it releases in August. And if you've read the sample chapter, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.